Is The Warmest Color, a French erotic drama directed by Abdelatif Kechiche, is a critically acclaimed film that won the prestigious Palme D'Or award, the equivalent of Best Picture, at the Cannes Film Festival last year. This film was ranked by many critics, including Kyle Owen Citizen Calgren of Brows Held High, as one of the best films of 2013. Unfortunately, I saw Blue Is The Warmest Color recently. It only came out in Australia in early February, and I thought it was kind of crap. The film follows Adele Exarchopoulos, a student, and the older Emma, Léa Seydoux, an artist, as they fall in love, make a life together, fight, and eventually separate. That's about it. Granted, Blue Is The Warmest Color is part of the romance genre, a genre that I'm not really that interested in, but I certainly enjoy romantic elements in film when they're executed well. They are not executed well in this film. Blue Is The Warmest Color is just so goddamn boring. The whole thing feels tedious, drawn out, and surprisingly lacking in passion. I just wasn't sold on the relationship between Adele and Emma. I'm aware that they have very little in common and are attracted on, for the most part, just a physical level, but they didn't really seem to talk or interact like real people. This minimal chemistry is compounded by Adele Exarchopoulos's somewhat flat performance and how basic and thinly written these characters are. Much like the protagonist in Julia Leigh's Sleeping Beauty, it's hard to hold interest in Adele or Emma's lives and relationship because we hardly know anything about them or who they are beyond what is told to us. It's evident that they passionately love each other, but much like Pat and Tiffany in the overrated Silver Linings Playbook, you're left wondering why they're so in love, and so our connection with them is weak. The plot has some rough patches in some plot threads that are either inadequately established or left hanging without resolution. Adele's clash with her classmates, as they accuse her of being a lesbian after seeing her meet up with Emma, is never engaged with afterward, as Adele's classmates promptly vanish from the film. We also never see anything relating to Adele's parents accepting or not accepting Adele's lesbian relationship, other than the father's slightly suspicious demeanor during a dinner scene. The absence of Adele's parents from the rest of the film may imply that her parents have distanced themselves from her, but this is a rather big stretch, by me, that the film doesn't make much of a serious attempt to suggest. It is a little jarring to have Adele's parents and classmates disappear from the film, given their prominence beforehand, and the fact that the narrative purpose they seem to have been given is unfulfilled. Blue Is The Warmest Color also feels too insular and internalized, as facing homophobia from others and the difficulty of coming out to your parents, two issues faced by a lot of gay couples, are hardly addressed at all by the film. Adele's brief relationship with a boy at high school, and the later revelation of her affair with a work colleague, which to the film's credit is effectively symbolized by her erotically charged dancing with said colleague, are too rushed to carry much impact. Blue Is The Warmest Color is very clumsy in the way it handles several of its plot points. It's ironic that some parts of the film feel rushed, as Blue Is The Warmest Color's narrative is incredibly slow and tedious. There are long stretches of time between events of importance, and the film is filled with so much padding in the form of dinner scenes. Seriously, the spaghetti bolognese deserves a starring credit. Walking, classes, and, yes, to finally confront the elephant in the room, the sex scenes. Blue Is The Warmest Color attracted a fair amount of controversy for its explicit lesbian sex scenes, as many critics accused them, and the film itself, of being pornographic. The sex scenes are extremely graphic to the point of being exaggerated and overblown. Even Kyle Calgren admitted this, and he very much enjoyed the film. And so they feel more like titillation than a means to advance and strengthen the film's romance. But the sex scenes also go for too long, particularly the first one. They are too frequent and end up boring. I really didn't like Blue Is The Warmest Color. It has an unconvincing relationship at its core, chemistry between the leads that feels either lukewarm or unrealistic, lackluster dialogue, and a rather flat performance from Adele Exarchopoulos, and combined with the awful, dragging pacing and a narrative playing loose and vague with many of its plot points, all of these factors make for quite a boring movie. Blue Is The Warmest Color just didn't click with me, and earns 2 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.